Hey, what scares you the most about being alone? Is it your thoughts, your emotions, or the silence? When was the last time you truly sat in silence, with no distractions, no phone, no people, just you and your thoughts? Do you find solitude peaceful or uncomfortable? Why do you think that is? Have you ever discovered something surprising about yourself while being alone? Most people fear being alone. We associate solitude with sadness, emptiness, or loneliness. But what if I told you that solitude is not your enemy? It is your greatest teacher. In a world that never stops talking, solitude is the space where your soul finally gets a chance to speak. Solitude isn't about isolation from the world. It's about reconnection with the self. Let's be clear, solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the power of being alone. Loneliness weakens you. Solitude strengthens you. In solitude, you don't feel abandoned. You feel complete. You begin to notice how loud the world is and how silent your inner self has become. When you sit in solitude, something incredible happens. Your inner voice, which has been drowned out by noise, starts to whisper. Then it begins to speak. And eventually, it roars. This voice carries wisdom you didn't know you had. It reveals truths you've been ignoring. It reminds you who you truly are. You can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself in silence. In solitude, you start to see which emotions belong to you and which were absorbed from others. You begin to recognize, this is my pain. This is my joy. This is my longing. This is my peace. The world teaches you to depend on approval, validation, company, entertainment. Solitude teaches you independence. You begin to realize, I don't need noise to feel worthy. I don't need constant activity to feel alive. I am enough. You learn to enjoy your own presence. All great creators, thinkers, inventors, and artists spent time in solitude. Why? Because the most powerful ideas don't come from the crowd. They come from stillness. When you're alone, your mind travels to places it normally wouldn't. You start to create rather than consume. Solitude is therapy. In the silence, your wounds surface, not to haunt you, but to heal you. You finally sit with the grief you've avoided, the pain you suppressed, the insecurities you masked. And as you face them, you grow beyond them. In solitude, many discover a deep connection with something greater, God, the universe, the divine. You begin to understand that you are not separate, that there is a guiding force inside you. This spiritual insight gives you peace that no material achievement ever could. Most people are lost not because they're weak, but because they've never paused to ask, why am I here? In solitude, that question finally rises. You begin to reflect. You begin to listen. Slowly, the fog clears, and a sense of purpose starts to form. You start to see how much time you've wasted on the meaningless gossip, comparison, distraction. Solitude detoxifies your mind. You detach from noise, ego, drama. You realize, I don't need half the things I was chasing. When you're alone, you think independently. You make choices from wisdom, not pressure. You start saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that matter. Your decisions become rooted in clarity, not confusion. In solitude, you become your own coach. You no longer need someone watching over you to get things done. You wake up with purpose. You develop routines. You set goals. You start to operate from inner discipline, not external motivation. Ironically, being alone makes you better in relationships. You stop being needy or clingy. You no longer expect others to complete you. You enter relationships from fullness, not emptiness. You give love instead of begging for it. Without the influence of others, your authentic self finally rises. You're no longer trying to impress, pretend, or compete. You drop the fake smile. You speak from your heart. You dress how you like. You live on your terms. Many people live in constant escape, fleeing from the pain, from the past, from responsibility. Solitude teaches you to stop running, to sit, to breathe, to face. And when you do, you find that the things you were running from aren't so scary after all. Peace doesn't come from a beach or a holiday. It comes from a mind that is at rest. Solitude trains your mind to stop chasing, stop reacting, and simply be. That peace becomes your superpower. You carry it into the chaos of life like a warrior of calm. In solitude, you stop measuring yourself by other standards. You stop asking for permission to be you. You realize, I am enough. Right here. Right now. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. That is freedom. When you step out of solitude, you're not the same person who walked in. You're wiser, stronger, softer, sharper. You're not just existing, you're living intentionally. You no longer live by accident, you live by design. So, if life forces you into solitude, don't resist it. Embrace it. If the world forgets you for a while, use that time to remember yourself. In solitude, you don't get lost, you get found. You don't break, you become unbreakable. You don't weaken, you rise. Solitude is not the darkness. It's the spark that reignites your inner fire. Learn to sit with yourself, and you will never feel alone again. Believe that.